Okay, today I'm going to do a really specific reading. I'm going to have a look at why they let you go. Not the story they gave you, not the excuses, not even what you saw was going on or what appeared to be going on. Okay? This is really specific, it's very deep, and it is the real reason that they let you go, okay? Behind the no closure, behind the silence, behind the game. So let's get into it. Just want to shuffle though. I hope you're well wherever you are, as I always say, looking after yourself and making sure that you tell yourself every single day, you're fantastic and wonderful. All right, if you'd like a full reading, just click the button below and I can get started on your full X-Back rapid return reading to help make it all happen for you. Okay. And if you've had no closure, yeah, I understand. I really, really do. And I do send you all my love. But just remember how amazing you are. I will add that one in, okay? Just remember you are amazing. All right then, what's really going on here? What's your person saying? I need to work on myself. I'm trying to clear my head. I'm on my way to you. Let's put that one there for a minute. That's coming in. I'm just wanting to get for somebody the root of what was going on. So they were clearing their head. I think they made up some bullshit story or blamed you or blamed other people. Okay. Because they couldn't handle themselves. They couldn't handle themselves, okay? Yeah, they were masking. They wanted to take their mask off. There's something they were hiding from you. Obviously, with mask, it means hiding. But there's something they were hiding from you that made them feel very vulnerable. Or I'm hearing there was something in their past that they'd done or some form of behavior that they didn't want you to know about, okay? They've been running from themselves. They're running from themselves. And this is the deep truth that they didn't tell you. Anything else, please? I have a lot of demons. Yes, you couldn't reach this person in the end. You really did help them with some of their demons. Okay? Whatever those demons are, it can be anything. It can be addiction. It can be self-sabotage. Whatever it was, you helped them. But they were spiraling. They were spiraling, okay? I feel that. They were possibly depressed as well. But the deep thing, regardless of what was said, what was done, the core issue is they were masking, okay? They were masking. Yeah. Sad. They're still looking at their phones as well. Okay, let's just see what else we get. What else have we got? Where's my tarot deck? Okay, so they needed to clear their head. There's something they've been lying to you about, something really big that they haven't been telling you. And that was the real reason. It wasn't what they said, or if they tried to play the victim and they blamed you, or then they didn't reply to your messages or ghosted you, or, they dragged 50 more million people into the arguments. It was none of that. This is the call. What were they masking? Can you give me something on this person's past, please? What was so horrible or they felt that they couldn't tell whoever this is for about today? Please, what was it? A relationship they had in the past, 2 of Cups, okay, before they met you. Now, this isn't saying that they are still in love with this person, and I don't feel they are, okay? I don't feel they are, all right? If you can just bear with me, I'm hearing it. I don't feel they're still in love with them because I'm on my way to you. I want to hold you. And every time the phone rings, I hope it's you, okay? But, and this is the book here, they did have a relationship that they thought was it. And that happens. We can all have that, especially as we get older. But this person you're connected into could have been their first love, okay? It could have been, they could have been engaged, it could have been broken off, okay? But there was a relationship when they were younger, or maybe not, that they thought was it. I broke them. And it altered the way that they attach in relationships. And I'm hearing, okay, that this reading is for those of you who that your person had this, and in some ways they didn't show a lot of emotion with you, or they were emotionally avoidant, all right? And there were conversations that needed to be had. between you both, but this person you knew, your ex, wasn't willing to have the conversations. They've got a shield. That's what the mask is, okay? So they developed a way of behaving in relationships to protect themselves from ever going through that pain again. Now, you will know what their coping mechanisms were, but that's all they were. That's the message I've got for you today. That's all they were. It was a masking. It was a coping mechanism. So again, love, analogous. If your person would be silent, that was their coping mechanism. Or if they never truly opened up their heart to you, that was their coping mechanism. Okay? Now, they knew this wasn't right. I feel this is an older person. I don't feel I'm reading for people who are young today, because I feel the person got to a stage in their life where they couldn't keep the mask up any longer and they needed to really look at themselves. Unfortunately for you, they didn't do that to start with. They blamed you, didn't give you any closure, just left you hanging, left you twisting, and left you with a whole load of heartbreak and memories that you've had to work through, okay? But you did. You came closer than anyone else, I'm hearing. You came closer than anybody else in this energy. Yeah, they were obsessed. I've got the page here. I'm still in their past energy, okay? They were obsessed with this past connection they had, okay? They put whoever they were with on a pedestal. They idolized this person, and they started again. But yeah, something, they started again, your person, after this, whenever it was. They could have had other relationships since this before they met you, because they carried this for a while. But they were quite superficial. That's their mask. They were more interested in physical pursuits than emotional ones, okay? The moment they felt a little bit caged, they would blame you because they hadn't dealt with their own demons. Yeah, they could become very rigid. It's definitely somebody who's older, but they could be very rigid, very matter of fact about stuff, and they just showed no emotion. Couldn't get through the brick wall. You couldn't get through to them. They thought they knew best, but they didn't. Okay? So that is why. It is a past relationship that this person's been involved in that they never processed. It ended and they went through life surface level. Now, they could have been very in love with you, or they could have showed that they loved you. But this is energy that was still bubbling under the surface that came out in the end. Yeah, the secrets were exposed. Okay, you held on for quite a while because you invested a lot of time and energy into this, okay? Right, let me see what's going on in your person's environment now. Let's have a look what's going on in their present. What's going on in this present, present energy. Right, they're challenging their belief system, this is clear, really clear now. Your person could be very selfish, they're superficial. Even, when the going gets tough, they get gone, all right? Because they were quite superficial. It was all about having their own wishes, their own needs satisfied. If their needs were being satisfied and things were going their way, then they were happy. But they always kept a bit of them hidden. They always kept a bit of themselves hidden, okay? I have got strong Pisces energy, and I've also got just Taurus, because I know I said the other signs, but I've got Pisces and Taurus. They kept that energy. They kept something back, okay? They kept something back. But what they're doing at the moment, okay, what are they doing? They're doing a complete overhaul on themselves. They could actually be seeing a therapist or talking to a close friend or an advisor. But what they are doing at the moment, in a nutshell, is they are breaking from their self-limiting beliefs and traditions. They are also, as an aside, letting go of other people's opinions and beliefs of how they should or shouldn't do something. So they are going through some major, major life upheavals at the moment because they've realized that they can't keep skimming through life. They've hit a wall. They've hit that crunch. They can't get through it, okay? They've got to get over it. They've got to get over it. So they can't just keep thinking about their own needs and their own wishes. They do come across as very, very kind of optimistic and quite a happy-go-lucky person, but they were carrying a lot of pain underneath of that. Okay. And they also, on a tangent, did have a lot of difficulty of letting go, which made things even worse for your relationship. Not only this past relationship, but there's also an energy of them always liking to do it the way that it's always been done, because that's how it's always been done, which I think was really difficult for you. All right? They don't want in their present at the moment, there's a situation they're in that they are not conforming to. Okay? They're not conforming to it anymore. They don't want to do it. No, bottom of the deck, Queen of Cups, reversed in their environment and their energy. Yeah, they're breaking free from a female energy who's quite fickle, quite vain, emotionally manipulative. Okay, they don't want this anymore. They're challenging it. They're breaking free from it. Let's see what's going to come in the future. Let's get these cards here. I want to hold you. I'm on my way to you. Every time the phone rings, I hope it's you. Right, let's have a look at those, please. I want cards for each of these cards, please, guys. That's too many. Ace of Cups. Yeah, wow. Simple then. I want to hold you. 3 of Wands. I'm on my way. Ace of Cups. Every time my phone rings, we have a Knight of Swords. Okay, I thought we're going to come back in. We're going to come back in very suddenly in a hurry, and there will be no plan. I do feel that this person, like I said, they're quite an optimistic person. They've often in the past taken chances on things, they'll go where fools fear to tread. They're in there. They want to hold you. They're waiting for you. The 3 of Wands, you just look at the card. They're waiting for you to come back. They're hoping that you come back. They're hoping that, they can see you again. Oh, there's energy today. It's like I've stepped into the energy of that figure, and they're just like looking at this great expanse of distance, just hoping that that ship comes back to shore with you on it. Okay, I'm on my way to you. Yeah. There's your Ace of Cups, your apology, your reconciliation card. Okay. I'm on my way to you with the Knight of Swords tells me that they will just come back in. The Knight of Swords doesn't wait for anything. They don't have a plan. They don't even have a plan to have a plan. They're even more, the Knight of Swords for me is even more impulsive energy than the Knight of Wands. It's a mental energy, so they will literally think, today's the day. That's it. Back. Oomph. In. But no plan. Okay? No plan. But they've been doing this work, and, their present energy is, they've got the higher event in the reverse. So that means they're breaking free of what was binding them, the old way of doing it, the traditions. They're just breaking free. It means that they want to walk their own path now. They want to let go of all of it because they're still in love with you. And you were the one that did come closer. You came closer. You came closer than anybody, okay? I look for you everywhere. That's very 3 of Wands. Even, I just felt like I stepped into that image then, and they're looking for you. They know you're not there, but they're still looking for you. Okay. It was my fault that I blamed you. Yeah, this is what I said right at the beginning. This is the deep truth, not the stories, not the arguments, not what they told you, not if they told you it was all your fault and never to darken their doorstep again. None of that rubbish circumstances. It wasn't anything to do with that. The core issue is they formed a way of being in a relationship based on some pain that they had suffered in a formative love relationship, and they never healed from that. And they almost adopted either a Jack the Lad, that's just an expression, doesn't matter if male, female, or however you identify, but that Jack the Lads of, I'm in control now, I'm doing it my way. No one's ever going to hurt me again. And they still loved, they still committed, but they were wounded. Okay, they weren't healed. And that's why this happened. And I'll say it one more time. It was specifically a one-to-one, loving, romantic relationship they thought was going to be it. They fell hard. They fell deep. Okay. And I don't feel that when they were with you, they were still in love with that past person. But what I do hear and what I do feel is the way they interacted with you and the way they showed their love was based on this persona, this mask they'd built to protect themselves from ever feeling that pain again. So you never got the real them, but you're going to get it. I'm ready to take my mask off. Is there anything else that's triggered this? Just one more before I wrap this up. Is there anything else that triggered them? Because obviously when they left, they were just blaming, victimizing, ghosting. What triggered them? Oh my gosh, 8 of Swords in reverse. So they realized they were stuck in their head. The 8 of Swords is all about being stuck in your head, having your hands tied, feeling victimized, trapped, but it's mental imprisonment. Those thought patterns stored in their body were replaying in every relationship they've ever had. Okay. And what triggered them was they got sick of it. They realized that it was the stories they were telling and that they were going to lose the best thing they ever had if they didn't get their acts together. Okay. So it's come out in the reverse. They realized they need to find solutions. They needed to get some help. They needed to talk to someone and they needed to take control back of their mind. Okay. Somebody here could have gone into therapy or they've had a friend who is good to talk to, who's been quite honest with them and said, maybe you need to look at what you've been thinking all these years or how you're reacting. Okay, so that's the reading for today. I hope it helps somebody. It is an interesting energy. Yeah, it is an interesting energy, but somebody is going to come back. They're letting go of the restrictions. They've done some work and they've realized what they've been doing. Just to add, I just saw that at the top of the deck, 5 of Swords, but it's in the reverse. They want a resolution, but what I'm getting from this card is that the winner takes it all. That was that protective boundary. They had to be right. Something, they would rather sabotage the relationship with you and see you crying and hurt and on the floor than feel that they'd ever been let down in the way they were in that relationship they had before you or before the other person or however many years ago it was. They've realized now that they don't always have to win. They can just let it be. Oh, and if you now, in your heart of hearts, would love your situation to be where it should be, just click the button below and with all my love and insight, I'll get started on your full X-Back rapid return reading to help make the love you want happen for you. Okay, so look after yourself. I love you so much. Take care. Bye.